Hi everyone, and welcome to my weekly series where I do an analysis of the script of a film that I've seen in the theater recently. I'm Cheriel Brown, and thank you for joining me today. The movie that I want to talk about today is American Animals. And American Animals, first of all, I just want to say that I really love this movie. I saw it in the theater twice. And so far this year, the only movies that I've seen in the theater twice have been Black Panther, saw that twice. Love, Simon, saw that twice. Yes, I saw Love, Simon twice, even though I haven't done a video on it yet. But American Animals, I try to limit these videos to only talking about the script, and I'm going to try to do that as best I can, but I do want to say a couple things first about the project. So it was written and directed by Bart Layton, it's always good, I think, when you have a screenwriter who's also the director, because you get this creativity that you don't always get when you have somebody that can shoot down your ideas and say, no, like, let's go this way or let's go in that direction. But one of the things that really stuck out to me when when the movie first opened was that they had this shot where you're in the car and you're driving around this Kentucky town, and you are looking out the window, but everything is upside down. And I feel like that shot right there just immediately engages the audience, and you're kind of thinking to yourself, okay, so what does that mean? Why is everything upside down? And it could be because with these four guys that the movie's based on, American Animals is based on a true story of these four college students back in like 2003, 2004, who performed a heist to steal this artwork that was worth millions of dollars, and the artwork was kept in a special collections room of a university library. So they initially are like, oh, you know, like this artwork would be really easy to take because there's only one little old lady guarding it. So the movie is about their journey from coming up with the idea to perform the heist and the months that ensued with planning for the heist, and then finally carrying out the heist in the third act. So that's how the film is structured. But what I really want to talk about is that this is basically a heist film. Maybe not so different than Ocean's 8, but the difference is with American Animals is that it's real life and things don't always go as smoothly as the heist goes in Ocean's 8. Hopefully no spoilers in real life. So one of the challenges that Bart Layton must have had in writing this script is writing characters that are sympathetic for the audience. So we have here four young white men who, by any just looking at them from the outside, would look like they're privileged, look like they have everything at the tip of their fingers. They're young, they're at least upper middle class or middle class. They're not suffering in any way from poverty or anything like that. They're white men, and they are in college, so they have so many advantages at their disposal. But the thing is that they don't feel like they are having a fulfilled experience in their lives. They feel like something's missing from their life, and they feel like their life is not meaningful. So it seems like when the first guy who sees this opportunity, that character is Spencer. And so it seems like Spencer wants to go through with this plan because he feels like he needs this special like aha moment as an artist. He has this limiting belief that for an artist to be profound or for an artist to be special, they have to have some type of suffering that they encounter. And that seems to be kind of his major motivation with wanting to go through with this heist. I think it's very interesting that at no point does it really seem to be about the money per se. They all keep saying that they want to have this transformative experience. They all keep saying that they want their lives to mean something, and they don't seem to be doing it for the money. They seem to almost be doing it for the challenge of it. So the challenge that Bart had was to bring sympathy for these characters, because, you know, technically they are doing something that's morally wrong. They're stealing, taking something from someone else that doesn't belong to them. So how does he do this? I think he does this in two pretty ingenious ways. First of all, yes, we do see the movie through Spencer's point of view. Spencer is the one who kind of gets the idea in the first place, but he tells it to his friend Warren. And Warren is kind of like this energetic, exciting character who takes the idea and runs with it. And it's implied that Spencer mentions it to Warren because he knows Warren's going to take it to the next step. And he knows he's not going to carry out the plan on his own if he doesn't share this with Warren. So there we go. We have the major point of view through Spencer. It is kind of told through all four guys' perspective, but mostly from Spencer's point of view. He would be the protagonist that we're joining along on this journey throughout the whole thing. He's the protagonist. He's probably the one who you would think or assume has the largest distance to grow. Well, maybe that could be Warren too, but Warren is not really the main character here, I don't think. I think it's Spencer. And the other way that Bart brings sympathy for these characters is that, and I love this idea, it was kind of like narrative meets documentary. He actually interviews the guys that the movie is based on during the film. So we're looking at what's going on in terms of how each of these guys remembers what happens. And at the end of the day, the four guys kind of feel like Warren may have been making up a lot of stuff, and we may have never gotten the money, or we may have never been dealing with a legitimate heist in the first place, which is interesting. And we see these guys look back over what they did. We look at them in their 30s, the real life guys, and then the actors are supposedly in their early 20s, just starting off in college, somewhere along that line where they're maybe sophomores in college. They never really say specifically. But we're looking at these actual people who committed this crime, and we see that they're remorseful for what they've done. And that's a way to really build sympathy for these characters, because I feel like if you don't add that element of the real life people and what they experience, then you do lose a lot of the sympathy for the characters, because, you know, you have to find a way to have sympathy for the characters when they're doing something that many in the audience would consider to be morally wrong. And those interviews really have you kind of sit back and say, wow, like, you know, is this something that would ever happen to me or somebody that I know? And it's the movie is a drama, but it really has a whole lot of moments of comedy in it. The first time I saw the movie, the audience didn't really laugh at the places where, you know, you're thinking they're going to laugh. And then the second time I saw the film, the audience was a lot more engaged, and they laughed at the parts that were funny. These guys are kind of, you know, they're young, naive, immature. They're planning this heist, and, you know, they're Googling how do you do a heist. There are no real books that teach you how to do a heist, right? So they're watching movies of heist movies, and they're looking at how the criminals in these movies perform their heist, and you just you're just sitting here like, what? Like, are you kidding me right now? Is this real? And yes, it was real. And yes, here's a spoiler alert, they get caught. Okay, they don't get caught when they try to steal the paintings or the books that the paintings are in, but it doesn't end well. But it's definitely worth taking a look at. I love the movie. Like I said, again, this is probably one of the movies from 2018 that I will purchase, because I do purchase films. I don't trust my movies just existing in Netflix or Hulu or wherever in a cloud somewhere. I like to have the physical DVDs in my home. So it's definitely something I'll add to my collection. I hope you take a chance to take an evening, go check it out. It still should be in theaters. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, please, as always, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want some coaching, please reach out to me through my website, either at www.thirdpersonomniscientproductions.com, or you can email me directly at joy.cheriel.brown@gmail.com, and we can talk about how to take it further. Again, thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye.